thou shalt not uncover her nakedness. Alright? So if a man, alright, say you a father and you have a son and he's dealing with a woman, you ain't supposed to try to get with that woman, alright? Because that's going off. Right? Leviticus 20:12. It says, if a man lie with his daughter-in-law, both of them shall surely be put to death. They have wrought confusion. Their blood shall be upon them. Alright, so that's a sin unto death, man. Alright? So if you're a father and your son is dealing with a woman, you ain't supposed to try to get with your son's woman. Alright? Otherwise, you're going to get put to death, man. Leviticus 18:16. Thou shalt not uncover thy brother's wife. It is thy brother's nakedness. Alright? That's right. Leviticus 20:21. Alright, it says, and if a man shall take his brother's wife, it is an unclean thing. He have uncovered his brother's nakedness. They shall be childless. Alright, so, if a guy, a good example of this, to get the understanding of this, read about when John the Baptist had called out Herod for dealing with his brother Philip's wife, Herodias. John the Baptist said it was unlawful, and this is the law in that. And he got upset with him and he threw him in prison. And eventually Herodias, right, the nigger woman, because that was the so-called Negro woman, she ended up getting him put to death because she didn't like John the Baptist because he kept calling him out on that. All right. Let me get this. All right. Deuteronomy chapter 25 verse 5. Now this is the only case right here where it would be lawful, right, if to deal with your brother's wife, right? In the case of right here, it says Deuteronomy 25:5. It says, if brethren dwell together and one of them die having no children, right, the wife of the dead shall not marry without unto a stranger. Her husband's brother shall go in unto her and take her to him to wife and perform the duty of a husband's brother unto her. Alright, and you see an example of this in the story or in the book of Ruth. Alright, when Boaz ended up taking Ruth, alright, to fulfill this duty. Alright, verse 6, it says, it shall be that the firstborn which she beareth shall succeed in the name of his brother which is dead, that his name be not put out of Israel. So it's all about, carrying on the man's lineage. Alright. It says, and if the man like not to take his brother's wife, then let his brother's wife go up to the gate unto the elders and say, my husband's brother refused to raise up unto his brother a name in Israel. He will not perform the duty of my husband's brother. Now, when you read the story of Ruth, alright, Ruth did not come up to the gate because she was not of the nation of Israel. She was of the nation of Moab, which is you so-called Chinese, so you can understand. She wasn't an Israelite, alright? So she couldn't do this. But this is like if it was an Israelite woman, she had this right. If her husband, which is an Israelite, if his brother didn't want to do it, she had this. This was one of her rights, right? It says, then the elder of his city shall call him and speak unto him, and if he stand to it and say, I like not to take her, then shall his brother's wife come unto him in the presence of the elders, and loose his shoe off his foot, and spit in his face, and shall answer and say, so shall it be done unto that man that will not build up his brother's house. And his name shall be called in Israel the house of him that have his shoe loose. Right? So, when you read the story about Ruth, right, Ruth didn't have this right to do this. This was a right given to an Israelite woman only in the case of if the brother or the nearest kin did not want to deal with her. Alright, then she had that authority, or she had the right to do this. But when you read the story, that didn't go down because Ruth was of the other nations, because there was a little confusion out there. You had some guys thinking that Ruth was an Israelite. All right, so that was the only time a man could deal with his brother's wife. Was in the case is if the brother died childless, he was to take the woman, and to the first child they had would carry on the name of his brother, or be counted as the dead man's seed or a child. All right, so that his name don't get put out in Israel. That was the only time. All right. Leviticus 18:17. Thou shalt not uncover the nakedness of a woman and her daughter, neither shalt thou take her son's daughter, or her daughter to uncover her nakedness, for they are her near kinswoman. It is wickedness. All right, a prime example of this would be in that movie Machete. All right, that scene with Lindsay Lohan and whoever her mother was in the movie, and they was dealing with that Jake. All right, what he was doing was a wicked thing, and you got people out there that do that shit too, man. That's going off. All right, this is here's the judgment on that. Leviticus 20:14. And if a man take a wife and her mother, it is wickedness. They shall be burnt with fire, both he and they, that there be no wickedness among you. So basically it come down to this. Alright, you gotta pick which one you're gonna choose. You can't deal with both. You can't be like, oh, this is my woman, but I want to deal with what they call it, MILF, mother I like to fuck. Oh yeah, I want the mother. She's a MILF. No. You gotta choose either you gonna deal with the mother, alright, only, or you gonna deal with the daughter. You can't deal with both. Otherwise, you going off, and all three of y'all supposed to get set ablaze. Alright, because that's great wickedness. Alright. Leviticus 18:17. It says, neither shalt thou take a wife to her sister to vex her, to uncover her nakedness besides the other in her lifetime. Alright, now a prime example of this would be in the story of our forefather Jacob, alright, which he was tricked when Laban had brought Leah in and not Rachel. So in that case, he wasn't guilty of breaking this, but that was basically set for an example to see what would happen. Because when you read the story about them, Rachel and Leah kept going back and forth, and each was being vexed because the same man was dealing with both women, right? Because he couldn't put them away because those were his women, all right? So but to speed it up in modern time, you have Jakes that will, oh yeah, I'm going to deal with this sister, alright, and then they turn around, something happened, they don't want to deal with that sister, but they'll go deal with the other sister, while and that's just off. Alright, so you ain't supposed to do that. Pick one of the sisters and you deal with it. Alright, and the other one you don't mess with her, man. Alright. Now, okay. Verse 19 says, also thou shalt not approach unto a woman to uncover her nakedness, as long as she be put apart for her uncleanness. Alright, meaning if she on her period, you ain't supposed to be dealing with her. Alright. Alright, because you got Jakes out there that do that. Which that's going off. Alright. Leviticus chapter 20 verse 18. Alright, it says, and if a man shall lie with a woman having her sickness, which is her period, and shall cover her nakedness, and have discovered her fountain, and she have uncovered the fountain of her blood, so it's talking about her period, and both of them shall be cut off from among their people. Alright. So let me get this.